Good evening. Welcome to High Top Sports Oregon. This is Cody the Professor, and today we are talking about the giant commit. A little bit late, but the giant commit that Oregon just picked up for the 2025 class. You know, they are really tearing it up through the 2024 class in recruiting, and it seems like the momentum is just not gonna stop there. They go ahead and pick up a big get, but first we're gonna bring in our Oregon insider, Derek. How you doing, bud?
Good, man. It's always a good time when Dan Lanning sends out the duck signal. So yeah, excited to dig into it a little bit here. First defensive commit of the class, so that's something to be excited about. But yeah, man, ready to get into it.
Yeah, kind of a seamless transitions from the 2024 class ended officially with the late National Signing Day. Not a lot of schools did a lot of big things there, but it was one of those things where I mean, you hop right in and you're already humping on the 2025 class, in a class that you already have some other commits, correct?
Yeah. So Matthew, he's going to be our fifth commit of the cycle. Already to this point here, first defensive commit, as I mentioned a little bit earlier. But yeah, man, really sets the tone for the 25 class, which I know I've talked about in previous videos. I really feel like it has a chance to be a special class where, there's potential it could even top the 24 class, which is even a crazy concept to consider.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and let's pull up the huddle real fast of the young man, kind of talk and see what we like about him, what we don't like about him. You know, coming from a powerhouse program, obviously, and it's like we kind of talked in the green room. If he's starting for this program, then it's he's really cooking.
Yeah, I mean, De La Salle, they're a perennial powerhouse program. So for him to be able to be starting as, a sophomore, junior into this program, it really tells you the caliber of player he is. I know if people are just kind of tuning in and they're looking at his national ranking, I believe he's 363 in the nation currently as we sit today. I don't think it really does justice to the caliber and the potential that he could be one day. He's sitting at the number 28 edge in this class, which once again, I know people aren't going to get too excited about that if they're strictly looking at, his stars and such like that. But man, when I tell you that this kid has potential to be something special, eh, he has a chance to really do something special. And, his coaches rave about him constantly. So we're really excited to get him into this class nice and early.
Yeah, for sure, and kind of a same build as what we really found, above that 6'3" mark in the defensive line. He's 240 now, but he's going to put the weight on. Um, they're using him as an edge, like a traditional edge here. Beautiful job shedding the block and stuffing the run. But it's going to be one of those things. If he can't put the weight on, then he's kind of that tweener linebacker, which isn't a bad thing either. It depends, but that 6'5" frame gives you plenty of length and frame to pack the weight on.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know you can see it from the tape if you really watch it. He is pretty quick. I know, being 240, that has a lot to do with it. But at this point in his career, just for wrapping up his junior season, it creates a lot of versatility for him. So I know he's listed as a true edge, as you're able to see. He's played a little bit of inside, played a little bit of outside. They'll move him back a little bit, so they're really taking advantage of the versatility that he offers at this point. Kind of like you mentioned, he still has a senior year to go. Obviously, a spring ball before we really dig into Oregon football 2025 when he would have potential to start playing for the Ducks. But I anticipate that he puts on a little bit of weight, fills out just a little bit to be more of that conventional edge. As we've talked about in previous videos, Dan Lanning, he loves the versatility, loves his versatile players, and this man absolutely fits the mold to be just that for the Ducks.
Yeah, for sure. And just kind of, I was watching the tape a little bit. I think he might be a little underranked, but that's okay right now because there is plenty of time for 247 and on three to really dial in his senior film. And if he goes to a couple camps, he can really raise up the star rankings of what he is and where he is nationally. I think he's 36th in the edge or defensive line classification in the nation, so that's pretty good. Like you said, he was in the 300s, but with a guy like this, High motors, very, very smart football player here, it looks like. I think there's no problem for him to really, if he can put it all together, there's no problem for him to really climb up the rankings.
Oh yeah, 100%. And we mentioned his, being 240. There's obviously a lot of room for him to start to fill out a little bit and put some more lean weight on. But at this point, just even being 240, what we're able to see from his tape constantly is he's constantly able to push these interior defensive linemen back, create some uncomfortability in the pocket for the quarterbacks. We've seen it, multiple times just in the huddle highlights here where, he's able to get in their face, push these linemen back, create some uncomfortable throws, which, as we all know, can lead to turnovers, which is the name of the game in college football. So, yeah, there's plenty of potential, and I do think he will continue to rise in the rankings a little bit here. As you mentioned, you had to a few camps, which unfortunately or fortunately, however you want to look at it, contributes a lot to movement in the rankings there. So I anticipate he'll hit a couple camps this fall. After his football season's done, I think there's going to be a lot of fluctuation in the total rankings. So, I don't want people to get bent out of shape about where he's sitting currently. I think there's a lot of potential for him to rise in the rankings still.
Yeah, for sure. And what I like about him is that 6'5" frame, long arms. That's something that a edge rusher really, you can't add length and wingspan, right? It comes natural. Other offers, Arizona State, Cal was after him. Arizona was after him. So you do have some Power Five programs that was after the kid. Yeah, 36 ranked edge, and just getting another good one. Lanning is just seems to be really, really cooking.
Yeah, and just speaking of offers, if you really go back and look when he's been offered in the last couple of months, he's been offered by the likes of USC, Michigan, Miami, Texas A&M, I believe was the most recent one. I think on February 1st they offered him. So, that's a really recent offering. So, just to have some of these perennial powerhouse programs offer him, it kind of tells you that they understand the potential that he has within himself. So, Ducks fans, I would expect a lot of growth to be had by him as we move into the fall of 24 high school football season. And like I said, at De La Salle, he's going to have plenty of exposure. And I think there's a real chance that he rises, cracks that top 300, maybe even beyond. We've seen it time and time again where recruits, they have one good year, they attend a couple camps, get the right eyes on them, and all of a sudden they start to skyrocket through the rankings. And if everything goes right for Matthew, he continues to put on a little bit of weight, show the continued progression. I think he's going to be one of those recruits again.
Yeah. So real fast. Just wanna announce that you're very active on the Twitter, and for people to go ahead and sign on to your Twitter, follow you for this inside information. You post a lot of good stuff there, and also we have a website. I think Derek is going to write some blog stuff over there also. High Top Sports website. It will be in the description. A lot of cool stuff there.
Yeah, 100%. As you mentioned, absolutely follow the Twitter. That's a way to get the inside information fairly quickly. We stay pretty active on it. We're constantly patrolling. We have a pretty good idea of when news is about to break, so that's helpful. But like tonight, we had a feeling a commitment was coming in the near future, but it kind of like sprung upon us tonight. And if you want to be able to get that information ahead of the masses, absolutely give us a follow on Twitter. I know our new website is also up in the profile bio of my Twitter as well. So, feel free to go and navigate that. The guys have done a really good job of creating that website and, making it their own. So it's some pretty cool stuff going on.
Yeah, for sure. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for the big time commit with Mr. Johnson. And thanks, Derek, for coming on and spreading the wealth of information. It's always fun doing this with you.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Go Ducks.
All right, guys, we will see you later, and we are going to wrap it up. This is Cody the Professor, and we are out.